At a White House press conference today with Japan's Prime Minister, President Obama was asked to weigh in not just on Baltimore, but on the nation's other recent racially charged incidents. The president had strong words for both violent protesters and for law enforcement.
When individuals get crowbars and start prying open doors to loot, they're not protesting. They're not making a statement. They're stealing. It's going to be important for organizations like the Fraternal Order Police and other police unions and organizations to acknowledge that this is not good for police. I can't federalize every police force in the country and force them to retrain, but what I can do is to start working with them collaboratively so that they can begin this process of change themselves.
All right, so John, given the continuing run of police-related violence in America, is today's response from the president enough?
In a word, Mark, I think the answer is no. I don't know that Barack Obama in any way can, with a wave of his magic wand, solve this problem. It's deeply enshrined in America, in big cities, small cities, any place where there are white police forces and communities of color. But I have to say, it's such a huge problem. The problem of criminal justice reform, trying to deal with the mass incarceration of African Americans largely in this country, the disparities in sentencing, all that stuff that feeds into this atmosphere that's created the problems in Ferguson, the problem in Baltimore, the problem in New York City. It is a huge problem the whole country has to take on, and I don't think President Obama has done nearly enough to lead on it in the time that he's been in office.
I don't think he has, but and today he was not particularly passionate, although he did give a very long answer, a 6-point answer, and clearly is thinking a lot about it. He's got a new attorney general he can deploy. I believe that this is a classic case of where Washington can't solve the problem. They can help, but mayors and governors, first and foremost, have to get on this. And in Baltimore, you've got a well-meaning, prominent African-American mayor, and I think she's done a horrible job in dealing with this, not just in the recent events, but when her city was dealing with a legislation that would put body cameras on cops. She did not do enough to get it passed in a timely fashion. So I think the president could do more, but I think the most important thing is the mayors and governors do more.
Well, I agree with that 100%. There's no doubt that that the primary responsibility for law enforcement is at the state level. But there is a federal justice system, and the federal justice system right now, the disparities between sentences for crack cocaine versus regular cocaine and the racial disparities that leads to, and a wide variety of other things that feed into this problem, mass incarceration that creates the racial tensions that we see play out. This is something where the federal government can take the lead, even if it can't solve the problem.
And I can't help but think that Bill Clinton would go 45 minutes down the road to Baltimore if he were president.
Right. I totally agree.